speaker today, Shubham. Shubham is the youngest chartered accountant and in our associate firm. Shubham has been quite instrumental when the GST implementation rolled out in India. Most of his clients who also come from the export background, and he would be sharing his own experience, why he feels that this is the right time for the export, or what are the really challenges which he finds that the export clients have. So looking forward to see all of our speakers today. Um, Friends, I've got this slide again, business growth enablers quadrant. I keep repeating this time because I feel these are the four areas which we need to focus as a business mindset. I will touch upon now more on the financial side because we think that in India, especially with the Narendra Modi's initiative of Atmanirbhar, and be it Make in India or be it Vocal for Local, they all go in that context where he wants to really boost that entrepreneurship at a grass level. And I would like to invite our speaker Shubham to share with some insight about what are those schemes which are very relevant in this point of time. Shubham, over to you. Can you walk us through with the Nirvik scheme?
Sure. Thank you, Praveen. Thank you, Praveen, for giving me this opportunity to speak in front of such a diverse audience. With global supply chains being disrupted because of COVID-19 crisis and the country embroiled in a border standoff with China, PM Narendra Modi has given a call for Atmanirbhar Bharat. So the two schemes which I am going to discuss today will not only boost up the exports in near future, but also give extended benefits to the MSME sector. And according to me, this is the best time to enter into the market, as after implementation of this scheme, you can reap the benefits. So let me take you through the first scheme. So the first scheme I'm taking is Nirvik scheme. That is known by the name Niryat Rin Vikas Yojana. ECGC, that is Export Credit Guarantee Corporation of India, which is a fully government-owned company and was established in 1957 to promote exports by providing credit insurance services. This ECGC has introduced a scheme to ease the lending process and enhance loan availability for exporters. Now, how it will benefit the exporters? So first and foremost is it will enhance the affordability of credit for exporters. तो exporters के लिए जो credit होता है वो एक affordable हो जाएगा. MSMEs को approximately 7.60% rate of interest के हिसाब से loan मिलना चालू होगा. The decision will help. Sorry, yes.
Yeah, no, you are right. This is making them very much attractive. Right. Actually, the rate of interest which is coming down.
Yeah. Right. And also this decision will help make Indian exports competitive, and ECGC का जो procedure होता है that will also become export friendly. Okay, then the liquidity issue which currently happens due to quick settlement of claims, that will be solved out, and it will ensure that timely and adequate working capital to the export sector will be available. The one thing to highlight in this scheme is that insurance cover guaranteed will cover up to 90% of the principal as well as interest component. So the ECGC currently provides credit guarantee of up to 60% loss only, but now going forward we'll get additional 30%, and it will also cover the interest component, which is a very big part for that.
Very true. Very true.
Which I want to discuss about is RODTEP. I think we can cover in this slide only.
Sure.
Right. So this scheme is known as remission of duties or taxes on export products. So currently there is a MEIS scheme which is known by the name Merchandise Export Incentive Scheme. So this scheme will completely replace this MEIS scheme, and this scheme is also WTO compliant scheme. So presently this MEIS scheme is not WTO compliant. So government is now introducing a newer scheme in which the benefit will be, at present, the GST taxes and import duties for inputs required to manufacture exported products are either exempted or refunded, right? But however, certain duties and taxes which are outside the GST levy are not refunded for export, such as VAT on fuel used in transportation, mandi taxes, then there is duty on electricity used during manufacturing, etc. So these would be covered for reimbursement under this scheme. The rebate which would be claimed by exporters will be on FOB value of exports, and the central government is projecting approximately 50,000 CR as revenue foregone in this scheme. The Ministry of Finance is also making a ITC ledger in this case. So they are automizing everything. They are focusing on digital economy, and the ITC ledger which is available in GST, like there are ITC, you can see the credit, how much is the credit in GST ledgers. So that will be formed in this scheme. which will
Absolutely.
also act as an authentic reference for foreign entities like UN and WTO, etc. So I
You are
think this
absolutely
is
right,
a very nice
Shubham.
scheme to boost the exports.
Correct. And I think you touched upon that point of the digitalization. And I personally want to
Yeah,
highlight this point that the digital economy is actually going to increase the credibility of India across the world, because that
absolutely.
transparency we bring in the transaction creates an immense branding in the mind of the customer. Um,
Correct.
there is one thing I know, Shubham, you have also pulled together some of the common challenges which exporters face. And given the forum, we
Right.
have few exporters as well, and I'm sure they will echo your statement here. So, do you want to just quickly go through those issues and tell us what exactly they can do to avoid it?
Yeah, sure. So many a times it happens that exporter makes mistake of categorizing in GST, specifically in GST I'm talking about. Many a times it happens that in exporter categorize zero rated supply as nil rated supply and vice versa. So they need to specifically understand that whatever they are exporting, whether they are filing compliance on time and effectively and also correctly. So that is important. As far as this issue is concerned, I remember one incident where one of my relative who is into business of clothing have exported some product to US, and he paid GST on export. So there are two options: either you pay GST or you do not pay GST. So there are two options: you can take refund of GST paid on export. But unintentionally, what he did is in GSTR1, he did wrong entry of shipping bill number while uploading invoices. So his export refund got stuck, and approximately it takes 5 to 6 months to get back that refund. So
True.
whenever you're filing your compliances, you need to take care of many things, such as the taxpayer who is paying the tax should know that GSTR 3B's tax should match with GSTR 1's tax. So both
Sure.
should match. Otherwise, there will
Yeah.
be a mismatch between both the
Yes.
returns.
Correct, Shubham. I think these things are becoming a bit more technical here,
Yeah.
but I think this gives a bit of a flavor to people to understand that the BL team is not only talking at the higher level, we can also help you on the operational level at the very granular level. Thanks, Shubham.